Hitting the record button. Oh, Michael, you weren't here yet. There has been feedback on the last couple of videos. People are excited, and I think that's cool. You're all famous now.
Nice.
Wow, I still haven't seen the second one or onwards.
I uploaded them today. I'll put links in the Facebook so you can like share the Facebook, because now it's a noun and a verb, right?
What's the name of the town that we
resurrected?
Well, either one, like I guess the resurrected one or the one that did they kind of become one town?
Yeah, basically. The one you started near was called I don't remember what it's called, but I'm gonna rename it Creed Hall now.
Wasn't it River? No.
Yes, River Shield is where the elves live. I don't know if I
down somewhere.
Did I give it a name?
I do in my character sheet.
Cool. I did not remember that I named it. I didn't think I had. Cool.
Called it.
You had either, to be honest.
Lars Bartender, I remember.
Yeah.
So the town, the villagers have dubbed me, at least not. This isn't really my proper name, but they've given me the title, the Journeyman of Creed Hall.
What works for me?
Birch Valley?
No.
Not River Shield.
Nope, that's where the elves live.
Not Birch Valley. The Windy.
Birchvale. There we go. There we go. It did have a name.
Birchvale.
Creed Hall's a name I just pulled out of my
Valley when it clearly says VALE.
So what was the name of this town?
Birchvale.
Birchvale. Okay. Being that I'm their new spiritual leader.
Spiritual leader, mayoral candidate. Yeah, leading politician.
I approve this message.
Speaking of, here you are in the newly risen combined Birchvale with a bunch of townsfolk that did you send them off to like rebuild the town? I thought you had.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got, the mystery from below and various. What now?
Whoa, sorry guys.
Flula. Dance.
Homework with Flula. I know that
Wow.
Apparently a video.
Is that the link that I sent you last time?
Yes, it's still open on my computer.
That's awesome.
You watched it?
I haven't watched it yet. I've been too busy, but it's still open, and I messed with my tabs, and it decided to start playing.
Well, at least it wasn't anything awkward.
Yeah.
Hi, Joseph.
Hi, you okay?
Hey. Oh, Barry, are you okay? I heard you had like a shooter out in Nova Scotia somewhere. I don't know how close they are to you, right? Because I live here and I have no understanding of how big Nova Scotia it actually is. Not a clue.
Well, it's not the biggest province, but no, it happened about I guess an hour outside of the city.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of spread its way about the northern part of the province, or the eastern.
Yeah, this guy like drove across the province and.
Well, he didn't drive right across the province. He was kind of in the top little area. It's kind of about the size of like maybe southern Ontario. No, like the banana belt there between Niagara and Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
And he was on his way to Halifax. And fortunately, the cops shot him because he could have done a hell of a lot of damage if he got to the city. But the place where they shot him is a gas stop that's just right outside the city by the airport. And that's like every time I leave the city to go on a road trip somewhere, I always wait till I'm out of the city before I gas up. And it's always that one I gas up on.
Wow.
So it's kind of, it was weird because I woke up in the morning and I got the alert on my phone that there was a crazy gunman headed to town, and I was like, whoa. Then the next thing you know, I got the alert that he was in custody, and then they said that he was dead. And then slowly the numbers, I don't know, last I heard it was like 17 people.
Wow. Yeah, that's what I saw was 17.
Yeah, he was apparently blowing stuff up too. lighting
Fun.
fires, and he was wearing a cop uniform, or
Ugh.
he had his
Like
car done up like a police car, and
He was a denturist, right? Like he was a
yeah.
Wait, a
Nice
guy who makes
teeth.
fake teeth?
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, it's messed up.
Like it's my mom was talking to me today, and apparently she reads the newspaper all the time. I just catch the headlines. But she was saying in that area a few months ago, a resident wanted to put some kind of, you know how there's bylaws and zoning laws and stuff. Apparently he wanted to build something, and his neighbors all complained, and there was a bit of a uproar about that. I don't know if it's the same guy, but my mom's just trying to figure out, like, why did this guy go nuts? And obviously he didn't just lose it. He planned this thing.
huh. I think the moral of
but-
the story is don't go into the market of making fake teeth.
Yeah. You know, I know a guy who's a denturist, and he's a great guy.
Oh, good.
He hasn't killed anyone as far as I know.
Is that the
Hasn't
bar?
snapped
Right? Like, you're a great guy as long as you're not a murderer. Is that the line?
Yeah. But you know, Nova Scotia is small. We got less than 1 million people in this entire province, and even already just my wife's former coworker, her aunt was killed. So it's like it's probably all going to touch back to people I know, and I don't have any family here but a mom, but it's small community, small province. It's got an effect on everybody
I bet.
in some way. Oh, your man without a face just showed up.
I mean, I'm sure he has one, right? It's just
Yeah, why is he hiding from us?
Well, I just don't have a cam.
Oh, all right.
Oh, it's all right. You don't want to see that anyway.
No one does. It's all right.
You do have a face, yeah?
I've done so well hiding it so far. It's okay.
he goes. We all wear
Only a
masks
select
now.
few people know.
We've all developed masks because of the COVID. He's had one his whole life, you know.
Let us back in.
Here you are in a freshly risen Iron City, right? With a bunch of townsfolk that are like clucking chickens, happy to help you and do whatever it is that you need done. And an unresolved, you guys didn't find the dwarf guy. What now?
Well, do we need to get some supplies before we go underground? I know I picked up some armor.
True. Do any of you have torches?
I don't think so.
Lantern.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's funny. I was digging through the book earlier, and for a game called 5 Torches Deep, I don't think any of the sundries or anything are torches, which kind of amazes me.
You're wrong. Come on.
No, I have a shovel.
Yeah.
You could
That's
burn the
good.
end of that. That's kind of like a torch with extra function.
No, I don't
Let's go
think.
get some torches then.
That
Why
would
don't
be
we get
smart.
Why don't we get some dungeoneering gear?
I mean, you don't have to. Just figured I'd throw that out there.
Oh no, I was definitely thinking about that last time.
Yeah, did we kind of forget that the lighting down there is supposed to be kind of like flashing?
Well,
Flashing?
the strobing, the sun thrower?
Mhm.
The sun thrower's all better now.
Yeah, but when we were down there,
Oh,
Last-
true. Yeah,
Yeah,
right. But I mean,
forgot
now when
that.
you go back under, right, exactly, you won't have it anymore. I'm opposed to seizures anyway.
yeah, I don't think anyone wants to have one.
Yeah, right. No one wakes up and goes, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to get a concussion born from bad lighting.
Well, we got to track down the dwarf who was the source of all of this deception that led astray the tavern keeper who had a little murder room in his basement.
Lars. His name was Lars.
You say murder room, he says pacification chamber.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, they both mold into one.
It rubbed the seeds upon its skin.
There's this gun in a video game I like called the Peacemaker, so called because when you fire it, fight's over. Right, big fan.
So that
That's a
thing.
real gun.
So, do you guys like ask the townsfolk about where you might find some dungeoneering supplies, or do you kind of fashion them yourself?
No, let's ask.
One of the townsfolk kind of looks at the other ones because some of them have never heard the word dungeoneering before. They're kind of like, "Wait, you want to go back under there? I mean, the city's up, but okay." And they dig through the old church building. I guess it's not really a church building. Well, actually, now it's more of a church building than it was before. But with Journeyman and Birchvale going, and they happen to come back with, they're like, these aren't traditional torches per se, but we've got some old wooden kindling that you might use. And they've bundled it up. And they go, here's a crowbar and a hammer, and they hand you a bunch of stuff that's kind of like a dungeoneering kit that they MacGyver.
So we have some cooking oil. I mean, not cooking oil, but like burning oil.
Yeah.
Rag, some sticks.
Right. They bring you some sticks, some burning oil, some rags. They managed to scrounge up an old, kind of raggedy but still whole backpack, a crowbar, a hammer.
Rope? They got any rope?
They managed to scrounge up what looks like 20 feet of good rope. It's on a 30-foot coil, but 10 of it's kind of, but the 20 on the end is pretty nice.
Okay.
They come up with a water skin that they're like, we don't know how old it is, right? But it looks clean and it holds water.
Yeah.
Shall we divvy up the torches and make the strong ones carry the rest of the supplies? I don't know.
You there, the one with muscles.
Warrior.
We lost our warrior. Or was he a thief? I can't. He was
Thief.
Who?
Jason.
No, we still have 2 warriors though, don't we?
Yeah,
No,
I'm
3.
one.
I'm technically a warrior. If you
Yeah,
wanna...
our owlbear is a warrior. Our elf's a warrior. We have 2 elves.
And I'm a paladin.
Yeah, I think. I forget.
Wait, you're a paladin who won't show your face?
Won't show his face. I show my face.
Not you. Oh, I thought Joseph said that.
No, I'm a warrior.
I think you're going for barbarian, aren't you, Joe?
I am indeed.
Cool beans.
Well, what did we learn about where that dwarf went? We did learn something. I can't remember.
He had gone through a nearby tunnel underground. Now you'll have to
Is
get
that
back
the one
under.
with the octopus was or squid?
No.
No.
That was a tunnel to the east or so. The
right.
due north tunnel is the one the dwarf had gone through.
So we're divvying up the supplies.
Divvying. I wonder where that word comes from.
Divide.
Yeah, probably.
Mickey off the end and you left.
Tricky.
Yeah.
So we've all got what, like 5 torches?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds about right.
We have no space.
My wife came in to see the snake for a second. She was kind of hoping. Can you? Oh, Amber, he's like holding it up so you can. Aw.
Okay, I'm weird. I like everything.
I don't think you, you like everything.
That's not true. I
She
don't
loves the screen. She doesn't like the camera. She's already like wiped all over 3 or 4 times now.
Nice. My wife said I'm weird because I like everything, and I'm like, you don't like everything. Anything with more than 4 legs, she's all set. Very specific. No legs, that's cool. You got more than 4, that ain't right.
I've got a tarantula.
Yeah, no, she probably wouldn't go for that. He has a tarantula.
So guys, are you wanting to go down into the tunnels and pursue the dwarf.
Yep.
Yes, we should continue on our quest.
Okay. The tunnel you went down initially is still basically intact. It's filled with a little bit more dirt from the rising city, but you make your way back down to what was it? A murder room, pacification cell, right? And then the tunnel from there, and you end up in a much larger, now empty cavity that you were in before.
Okay. Well, I have my hooded lantern out in front of me.
Sounds good.
It is burning, and I am proceeding down the tunnel.
It's decidedly still. There's nothing casting any shadows beyond the lantern, right? There's no, it's too large for you to even have a measurable echo. It's surprisingly quiet for being underground.
Are the horse-amanders still around for us to take with us?
I kind of assume that they are, but I mean, if you want them to not be.
I was just wondering if they had scattered.
I would have figured that they're subterranean creatures by preference, and that they would kind of have slipped. They would have risen with the city and then done their best to get back underground.
Well, I'm riding my horsemander if that can be accomplished.
That's what I was getting at.
Horsemander.
I would like to ride a horsemander.
What a great creature, horsemander. I'm gonna put that in a book and give it stats and stuff. I'll need somebody to draw that for me. So
They have no eyes.
Right, a great big pink salamander without any eyes. Whether they have empty sockets or just nothing up there, that's really up to the artist, I guess.
They would have to have just a blank face. They're
right.
The thingy with nothing.
Oh, creepy as hell.
Yeah, they'd be creepier if they didn't have any eye sockets.
Oh, yeah. So you find your way to the tunnel without any difficulty. You go 20, 30, 40 feet down the tunnel, and then there's a whisper, like a human voice, that goes, "Stay away."
That sounds inviting.
I think I want to stay away, guys.
You sure?
We should see. Maybe we can see further what's who's rolling it, who's seeing it.
So
Maybe intelligence check or wisdom.
Stay away.
You want to make a wisdom check?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. What are you checking exactly?
Where am I?
Searching for person who's seeing that.
Yeah, you bet.
3.
So not so much. If you didn't know any better, and you're not sure you do, the darkness just asked you to stay away. But the journeyman of Birchvale is holding I want to say needle nose lantern, and that's not right. A bullseye lantern. So the beam of light travels much farther forward than it does around you. You guys don't see anything, just the beam of light in the darkness.
Can I detect any magic?
You can, but nothing comes up. The ability works, but you don't smell anything or sense anything.
I'm going to send my illuminate cantrip out 20 feet ahead of me.
Okay.
So I conjure a ball of light and send it out.
Okay. Humor me. What does that look like? Does it look like a little shimmering hammer? What color is your magic?
It's white. It's white light.
We started with the hammer last time, didn't we?
I think so, yeah. But I mean, he's a priest. He can be like, you know what? Today I'm angry. Now, today it's red.
With that, I'm doing a perception roll of a wisdom check to see if I can see anything.
Sure.
And I got a 7. That sucks.
I'd like to try communicating with Whisper Mind to the voice, if that's possible.
Yeah, give it a shot. Since you can't
roll.
Yeah, please. Since that spell that's a cantrip, right?
Yeah.
Since you don't really know what it is you're attempting to communicate with, let's call that. That's the only reason you're gonna roll, because as a cantrip, you just do it.
Yeah. 11. Do I use my intelligence modifier on this?
Definitely.
So 13.
13. You reach out with your magic thoughts, right? And you do find gold, as it were. You strike and you find there's an echo confirmation that you're definitely talking to a human mind.
Okay, I'm gonna say, who are you and why should we go back?
You hear both directly into your brain, so they must have some sort of telepathy spell too, and in the general air, right? You hear death awaits down this tunnel.
Death for me? Death for my friends?
Death for everything that lives.
And how is this death supposed to greet us?
At that question, you hear kind of like a whimper, but not an audible answer.
Well, I've already.
I'm going to communicate this to the party that I have contact with whatever it is.
Okay.
Sounds ominous.
Sound like bluff.
Like, I ain't no fool.
Boys say stay away. Don't stay away.
Right? Video game logic. If it says go left, go right. Right.
You're climbing a ladder, you hear a loud screech, and you're just like, no, back down the ladder.
Oh.
Going forward.
Okay. Okay.
You're leading the way?
I am.
All right.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm just proceeding forward. I have my newly reforged Warhammer, whatever it is, in my hand, and my
lantern in the other, right?
Lantern in the other, and I'm proceeding because I've already faced death a few times the last couple days. I'm not going to be scared off by whispers.
He's like, you're gonna have to do better than death, right? Like, whatever happens after death, you'll have to bring that one up.
Better be an underworld.
Yeah, right. So you got? Do you all decide to go?
Proceeding forward cautiously and making, sort of like looking carefully at the floor and trying to at least feel around for any danger. But we didn't bring a 10-foot pole, so.
Old school gamer right there, right?
Yeah.
I used to always bring a sack of marbles, a 10-foot pole, and a bag of flour into every dungeon, every time, no matter what.
I used to always bring chalk.
Nice. Chalk's a good one.
Chalk and a mirror.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about a hand mirror. Always a good idea. Yeah. So as you are busy, moving forward, but deliberately paying attention, you hear a little like a click sound, and what looks like mist start pouring in through little tiny holes in the side of the floor.
I immediately grab my tunic and cover my face.
It's the COVID. No, just kidding.
What color is the mist?
Say again?
What color is the mist? Is it just a white mist?
It's just a white mist. For all you know, it's steam, right? It doesn't, it's not hot, but it doesn't look like anything in particular.
Right. I don't think I have anything to cover my face with.
I got my beard.
What?
So I used my dwarf beard.
You just kind of flip it up.
Just force it over.
Does it appear magical?
It does not, but it does appear difficult to see through.
It's a good thing some of us are on horsemanders.
Yeah, right.
They can't see
Did the horsemanders seem to be responding at all, or like
they're definitely slowing down? And I don't mean that they're moving sluggishly. I just mean that this is making them uncomfortable for some reason.
Hesitate.
Right, they're hesitating. Right. And you hear the same whisper you heard before. The same voice. Turn back.
Nah, I'm okay.
I say turn back. We know turn back.
I say show yourself.
I ask him.
Because you
to
asked
show
so
himself.
nicely.
Right, like that wasn't really a request so much, was it? That wasn't a please. That was a demand, right?
Can I try to, since as a mage I have some I'm proficient in negotiation and finesse.
Sure.
So can I try to convince this whispering voice to come out and parlay with us?
Sure.
That we
Yeah.
mean
Go
him
for
no
it.
harm and we're just regular old travelers.
We're not
I'll
regular old.
Right, what are you,
We're on a mission
NPCs?
to kill a dwarf.
Okay, I got a 19 on the die.
Nice.
Okay.
So I get what's my proficiency at level 3 plus 2?
+2.
And then I got my intelligence. Does that go towards that?
Yeah, let's say it does.
Okay. So
Or
it's plus
charisma,
4.
whichever you want to apply, if you have a preference.
One or the other?
Yeah, intelligence or charisma, whichever you feel like applying.
Oh no, I'll use my charisma's not all that great.
So you was 19 raw plus whatever else you got?
Yeah, plus 4.
Nice. So was that a whisper mind, or I just in the air, everybody heard you?
Whisper mind.
Okay. You don't hear a response, but out of the wall comes this translucent blue entity with sorrowed, sunken eyes. And like if it had a skeleton, you could see it through its flesh. And it goes, "Why are you in this decrepit tunnel of death?"
Does he speak to all of us or just
Out loud, yeah.
And everyone could see him?
Yes.
We're seeking the source of the evil that befell the city above here.
That would be me.
And who are you?
I am Oswald. I have been dead for centuries. You cannot possibly be looking for me.
You may have a point.
And why does this tunnel hold only death?
It's how I died. It's how everything in this tunnel dies.
From what? Dies from what?
He points at the slots with the smoke below, and he goes, "That is a toxin that will strip the flesh from your very bones. Should you survive that, more traps wait down the tunnel. In life, I was horrible. In death, I try to be better. Turn back if you want to live."
How do we avoid the traps?
Does this mist come from below?
The mist comes from the little slot. Oh, you're asking him. I'm sorry. That wasn't a mechanical question. That was a character question.
Oh, crap.
Is it like a heavy mist residing to the floor?
Yes, definitely. And it's rising a little bit every couple seconds or so. Eventually, you won't be able to see in the tunnel. I should roll a die for that.
I could probably avoid it for the most part by walking along the ceiling.
Oh, right, because you cheat. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, you can totally avoid it.
Ceiling here is he, like, because if an owlbear is like 9 feet tall and he's walking upside down, his head is now in the mist.
And this is a good point. You might actually be better walking on the ground. It's only like a 10-foot high tunnel.
I think I'm 7 feet tall when I'm stood up.
So you're like 3 feet high when you're on all fours? That can't be right. 3 feet, 4 feet?
3.5, 4. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
What?
Apparently, this owl bear I've chosen is a smidge shorter than your average owl.
Just magically.
So he's
is 8 foot tall.
He's a midget owl bear who's awakened and can walk on walls. Is that right?
He can walk because of you.
Now
Well,
that you
that's
say it
true.
like that.
Why not? I've seen weirder things in a tabletop experience. Why not? Let's say you're 3.5 feet high when you walk on all fours. But I think the journeyman's point still stands that depending on the environment, maybe being on the ground is actually better than being in the air. Certainly, if you walk on the ceiling, you'll present a certain degree of mobility challenge for your friends.
This is true. Yeah, if it's a 10-foot tall ceiling, yeah.
Plus, just a question: if he has bags and whatnot, his boots don't magically make everything on his person
Yeah, no.
anti-gravity.
He definitely, right. It's not anti-grav. It just lets him essentially give him enough grip to cling to things. So yeah, if you had like, if you were carrying a bucket, right, it would just dump when you walked out.
Or it would, I suppose it could hang down.
Now I'm picturing an owl bear with a bunch of pies and stuff, like a clown. Sorry.
The horse commanders can walk on the ceiling, can't they?
They sure can, yeah. But the same issue would apply. Your backpacks will kind of sag upside down, which could be an issue depending on how you've got things secured.
I think I'll stay on the floor for now.
The ghost, because my throat needs a break for a second. the ghost says that if you insist on going forward, you take your life into your own hands. But he would be happy to help atone for his previous transgressions. He says there's a mist trap and a bone trap and a fire trap, and after that he doesn't know because that's where he died.
Could he not like ghosty walk over to the other side?
Ghosty walk. He can't ghosty walk any further than the place where he died.
So I don't understand. This mist trap has already been set off. There's mist coming in the room. We haven't had any effect of it yet.
Nope.
So does that mean it hasn't touched us?
It's all around your ankles and, working its way up your knees. But no, it hasn't done anything to you yet. You start to feel it kind of in your, breathe it in a little bit. You're pretty sure that in 5 rounds or so, it'll be a dangerous problem. But until then.
Did anyone bring a blower?
A blower?
Can I try using the subtle force cantrip?
Sure.
Could that possibly have an effect on mist?
Subtle force lets you move something that weighs up to 5 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, mist doesn't weigh 5 pounds, so I don't see why not. You can't kind of have an invisible hand go like this and move it, if not blow it around. I'm not really sure that would help you, per se.
Your thing, wizard.
I could move it into the air around our heads, in theory.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, roll. Oh, you don't have to roll. That's a cantrip.
Well, I was thinking of using my breath to blow it out of the way, kind of like that.
Magnified through subtle force?
Yes.
That's a cool idea. Like
so
Superman.
I'm gonna bite my tongue really hard.
Okay. Yeah.
So I have blood in my mouth. And I'm gonna swish the blood around.
He's one of those creepy blood mages.
Yes, so that my oxygen will mix in with my blood, and I'm just gonna see what happens.
Don't blind your breath to the wind.
6 feet.
Let the reader understand.
6 feet?
Oh, I was being funny. Social distancing, right? You're blowing
yes.
your bloody breath into the air.
I've forgotten all about that bit.
I feel like that's not hygienic. You know what I mean? But you blow into the air, right? And the mist kind of coils around the subtle force for a second. You create almost a little tunnel of smoke, and it pushes down further. And what that mechanically does is I raise the counter on the die. Do you guys stop moving to do that? Like to talk to the ghost and do what you just did? Did you stopped it dancing?
I would assume.
I assumed we had.
Okay, yeah, me too. All right.
Not to go forward. We would at least give them a chance.
The ghost suggests that you really shouldn't. He goes, I don't know what's beyond that tunnel, and I wanted to know in life. There are various tunnels attached to the hallway. Only one of them is, rigged. But it's not worth dying over.
Did he
Why were you
see
going
the
down
thing
there?
we're pursuing? The dwarf?
He goes, small fellow, wrapped in dark robes, big green eyes. Yeah.
That sounds like the guy.
How did he get through here?
I have no idea. He ran very fast, but beyond that, I don't know. How the flames did not kill him And if the bone trap didn't dice him up, no idea.
If he came this way, then we have to do our best to go through as well.
How does the bone trap works?
The bone trap is big teeth that rise out of the ground and out of the ceiling, kind of in the middle, like a mashing action.
And Oswald, how did you go through it? Avoid it?
He says, I cheated. In life, I was a mage. I took the form of mist, which I got the idea from this trap, and just kind of, they slammed and I didn't take any damage.
How did you make through mist?
In life, I had a spell book that had various tricks in it, one of which was mist form. I thought to use it because of the mist trap, but I had already known the spell.
Where's this spell book of yours?
I knew that.
It should be in the fire pit. You're welcome to it.
Fire pit.
So it won't be ashes?
It shouldn't be. In life, I had it enchanted to be pretty much indestructible. You'll need something more impressive than fire.
And refresh my memory, where is this fire pit?
That is the fire trap that comes after the bone trap.
The one that killed you.
Mm.
Not your book. All right, I'm motivated. I'm thinking we should go quickly through the mist before it starts eating us alive. And I could blow it out of the way if we need it. But I don't want to go first because I don't think I could survive a trap. And Jason's our thief and he's not here. So how are we going to play that? He's sleeping somewhere?
Since my my expectation is that he isn't not coming this week. He's not coming at all.
Okay.
He's done.
Right.
Left us. He met a nice girl in Birchvale.
Yep. Yeah. I mean,
2 weeks now.
That he left you out to dry. I don't know. One of my notes in here was that he was looking at Hermes as a kind of asset. That was specifically the word he chose. Maybe he decided he was wrong and you weren't worth it. I don't know.
Well, let's run past this. Let me have. So I take out one of my torches and I light it.
Okay.
And I throw it as far. I get sort of just a little past the where the mist is coming out, and I throw my torch as far down the hallway as I can.
The torch whips through the air, nice spiral, cool, right? And you watch it, the tunnel, the light cast by the torch lets you see the tunnel narrows, just what's got to be like 5 feet. It doesn't get any, the roof stays where it is, but the width of the tunnel shrinks quite a bit. And what looks like 2 giant columns of white rise up and come from below and crush that torch into nothing.
Ooh.
Glad we know where that is now.
Well, so then I walk up to where that happened, like just
like the very edge, right?
Yeah.
Okay. With your lantern, you can see down. That's a bullseye lantern. That throws something like 20 feet of light, doesn't it?
It's a hooded lantern. It's like, I don't know exactly what that would look like. I have an idea, but.
Oh, a hooded lantern. Okay, yeah, a hooded lantern, bullseye lantern are technically 2 different things. Well, not really. Really, a bullseye lantern is a hooded lantern with an extra accoutrement in the front of it. But anyway, so yeah, the point is you can see in front of you more than you can actually see around you. Hooded lanterns are really, really impressive stuff given how old they are. Anyway, so in front of you, you can see a good 20 feet in the dark, right? And there's a layer of black soot on the ground, black like dust. And underneath it, you can see the white platform, like the black dust on top of it is remnants of the walls that have been scraped and then fallen into it over time. If you look up, you can see that obviously dust doesn't fall up, right? You can see the white column up top. It goes down beyond the edge of your torchlight. It must be at least 15 feet long because that's the edge of your edge of your lantern light, excuse me.
What I wouldn't give for an immovable rod right now.
Yeah.
Have we run through the mist yet?
Oh, I assumed you all kind of
Yeah.
followed the priest up to the edge, but
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
My question is the trap that's ahead of us, like, is it, does it reset automatically, or
when the columns came up and when they met in the middle, they shrank back to where they were.
so it would, if we tried to walk through again, it would open again?
More than likely, yes.
Do we have any like wood or any kind of hard objects that we could put in that space?
I have a shovel. Folding shovel.
You really want to use that?
I don't know what else I'm going to use it for, but I don't know if it's strong enough to hold the trap open.
It's smashed the.
Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I wanna like stick it in the trap and then have the trap go back off and be like stuck. Like jam it where the trap would normally open.
Can we see like the edges of the floor and the roof? Is this mechanical? Can we jam the edges?
There's a little recess in the edge, right? You can definitely see the point of no return, the point where you step on and you touch it and it's going to go off. There's a clearly defined set-in ledge. It's not very much. We're talking like a 1/16 of an inch, but there's a definite space between the end of the natural tunnel and the start of the white part.
How fast is the draw?
The whole snapping and resetting action took about 3 seconds.
And it's at least 15 feet long.
At least 15 feet. You'd have to get more light down there to be able to see exactly how long.
I think most of us are going to be traveling at sort of 30 feet per 6 seconds, aren't we?
Yeah. So mine is.
Where is mine?
I don't know what my speed is. Where did you say that?
Ah.
Can we see some wood or anything?
There's nothing in the tunnel as far as like rocks or anything like that. Any larger chunks near here have been mashed by the trap into little bits of dust. Your immediate options are to use what you have on you or to go back the way you came and come up with something else. I mean, maybe turn the ghost into a person and shove him in there. I don't know.
You said you wanted to do good.
Guys,
He did.
how far? Oh no, the city went all the way up. A suit of armor might be handy.
I mean, numerous members are wearing a suit of armor. Not that I imagine they want to give that up. Kale, you haven't said anything for a little while. What's going on in your brain?
I've been thinking I would like to get a little closer to inspect it without actually getting hurt.
Sure, yeah. You can get pretty close. The tunnel is wide enough for any three of you except the owlbear to get up against the edge of it and kind of peer over the side and look.
Okay. But I'm definitely wearing leather armor, like the light armor. So
Right. Yeah, no, your
helpful.
suit of armor would not, right. So you scope around the edge of it, right? Can you be a tiny bit more specific? Do you just look? Do you kind of...
I want to look at the kind of the wall.
Okay.
On the side there where the two pieces that are coming up from the bottom and from the top slide against something.
Okay. You don't see any tracks or anything. Like there's no, they don't slide in tracks like doors. But you do see the sides of the stone wall have taken a pretty good beating over time. They've been worn smooth. This trap has probably gone off a lot in order for that to happen. And there's a big chunks of it look pretty old and pretty beat.
I'm wondering if we can dig around it to the side with the shovel.
The shovel wins.
If it doesn't go far into the walls, maybe we could dig around it.
The walls are definitely dirt, not stone, if that helps. I realized I forgot to say that, and that's, useful.
That was my next question. I want to get in that trap.
Wait, what?
I want to check the spell. Oh no, wait, this is not the fire trap.
No, I was like, wait, what?
All right, forget me. Let's just pass this thing.
But cats are starting to knock things off the counter. I gotta go feed them.
Okay.
I'm only 5 minutes early. I'll be right back.
You bet. Do you guys want to wait until she gets back, or?
Yeah,
Let's hear from the silent.
To bed.
The man with no face.
Everyone's putting something to bed. I have nothing to put to bed. Put my kids to bed after the game.
I'll go
Faceless
later.
man, Joe.
Joe, what do you think?
I'm not sure really. I got a smith kit, but I'm wondering if I could disable it. But I don't know what would I have to roll for that to disable it? And try and disarm it?
A smith's kit isn't a rogue's kit. I'm not really sure that. Well, what's in a smith's kit? You're the warrior. You tell me.
Literally, I have no idea. It literally just says smith's kit.
A little oil, I would imagine, for
Oil and the stone for sharpening.
swords. Maybe a little hammer for knocking out dents in armor or something.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. A whetstone, some oil, a little hammer for banging out dents. If it's a more modern thing, it's got one of those suction cups that guys use to fix out dents in the side of their fenders. Chances are your smith's kit doesn't have one of those.
Probably not.
I want to roll wisdom or something to see what's the mechanism of that trap.
Yeah, sure. Let's call that an intelligence check. But yeah, sure, go for it.
Okay. 7 plus 1. 8.
Nice. As you pick up a little, you pick up a scoop of dust from outside of it, and you throw it in there, and the trap goes and slams, air into your faces. And as it slides back up, you do hear a little click, 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 but you have no idea where it's coming from.
Just a little bit dust set it off. Wow.
And then I'll try to throw dust one more time, and second time as it comes up.
Sure. This time, make the same check, but make it with advantage, since you're actively paying attention this time, and you kind of got something last time.
16.
Much better. So this time you throw the dust, and that thing snaps down and clicks back into place, and you hear the click, 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 click again, and you're pretty sure it's coming from about halfway down the tunnel outside of, like it's echoing from maybe behind the wall or in the mechanism somehow. Not only is that where audibly you think it's coming from, but it doesn't make sense to have a trap set up in the middle of the danger zone. You know what I mean?
So when this thing is shut,
Mm-hmm.
can we see the other side of the crushing panels, I suppose?
When it shuts, all you see, the whole hallway temporarily in front of you is just white, like two big giant molars crashing into one another.
Right. Okay. That doesn't help.
I want to check if I throw dust, it closes, then goes up, and I want to throw dust one more time to see if it's
If it'll kind of re-slam before it resets. It does not. It finishes the one set and then rises back up, and you threw the dust kind of in the middle of its chomp, and it doesn't react to that second throw.
That's our space.
I wonder if any of us are fast enough to get through that way.
Dexterity check.
What about digging
Not
for
me.
the mechanism with the shovel?
You can see with the light of the journeyman's lantern, you could probably dig out the sides. Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean,
we digging a tunnel so that this thing
Around it?
a walkway around it.
You're pretty sure you could, yeah. You'd have to really test the dirt because it's been packed in pretty well, but I don't see why not. You're pretty smart. You look at the dirt and go, I have a shovel. There's some dirt.
Owlbear, get to work.
I have a
Right,
shovel,
I
but
take
he
out
has
my
claws.
shovel and I
I've got
give it
a
to the
dig
owlbear.
I go into anyway.
So you guys are going to dig out the sides. Humor me, the left wall or the right wall?
Whichever
Where-
wall we hear the clicking on.
Yeah,
That would be the left wall.
left it is.
Okay. You guys start digging through there, right? Once you do that, you kind of look behind you as you kind of dig, right? I tend to look around me while I do yard work. I don't know. I've never really sure where I got that behavior from, but you see the mist in where it was. It's pretty thick and it's rolling towards you. You should do this quickly.
Okay, while he's digging, I'm gonna be at the wind.
Okay.
Mist.
And you.
Okay. As so Hermes is digging and you're magically doing your best to keep the mist from getting to you.
Indeed.
I'm
Okay.
throwing dust to the jaws so that they make wind.
Nice.
Good idea.
Look at you
I
being
can
all
take
creative.
the shovel and help dig.
Okay. So you've got 2 air movers, 2 diggers. Joseph and the journeyman, what are you guys doing?
I'm watching.
Yeah, I'll sit-
Supervising.
Lighting the way.
Delegating. Nice.
Amazing.
You guys are doing a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit more there. A little bit more there.
The tinker approves.
You missed a spot, right? So you dig your way down this new fashion tunnel. How big are you going to make this thing? The same height or just wide enough and tall enough for you all to kind of fit through it?
Well, it's got to be big enough for me to get through at least, doesn't it?
Yeah, right. But if you
And-
want to go
and
bigger than single
Preferably our
file.
horse commanders as well.
Okay.
Well, mounted or without? Like, would it bother you if you had to get off?
I think I'm off right now because I'm digging. But yeah, we wouldn't have to necessarily be riding them because
My
Well,
question is
danger.
how wide are you making it? Are you making it so you're all single file or wider than that?
single file.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like we got to be quick.
Okay.
Definitely.
Between Jason's clever, use the teeth to help thing and Jit's magical, right? You guys are pretty safe. You dig out the tunnel, right? And about 15 feet down or so, you come across what looks like a giant cog that kind of rotates in place like the inside of a clock with these bands of metal attached to it. One rises into the ceiling and one sinks into the floor. And every time he throws dust and the teeth slam, the whole cog clicks one to the left.
I wonder if we can find a way to jam it.
Or lever the
Yeah.
cog out.
I have my hammer,
Mhm.
and I want to smash the cog.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Now
Make-
that everyone else is done with the heavy lifting. I roll a 19 plus 3.
Nice. As you drive your hammer through the cog and it breaks into itty bitty pieces, do you have anything you want to say now that you've offered conquest onto a lump of metal?
It's disgusting to me to see fine workmanship used to create destruction.
Oh, look at you. As you smash that, the teeth slam one more time and then sink back to where they started. Jason throws more dust and nothing happens.
We did it.
Guys, it stopped.
Oh,
I did something to stop it.
It was me.
We'll let you think that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if the journeyman's gonna let you think that. But... So let me get this straight. So Jason and Jit are in the mist, the main, like the original access point of the tunnel. Kale and Hermes are digging in this newfound side of it. The journeyman is with you guys because he smashed the cog. Where is Joseph?
I was with the nameless one.
Okay. Do you guys double back or keep going this way?
is this literally a dead end? This tunnel with the mechanism in it?
No, you could keep going, but yeah, it doesn't go beyond that point. There is what looks like a kind of a soft, like somebody packed in dirt to your left, so like further into the side of the wall. You can feel a little bit of air coming through it.
Kind of feels worth checking that out potentially.
Hermes is a relatively intelligent owlbear, right?
I think he's intelligent. He just he don't speak very good.
I see. He not words, right? Okay.
Yeah, good with words.
You're a reasonably intelligent creature. Whoever set that up probably used the not so well hidden tunnel to do so.
Yeah.
Because I mean the tunnel that you used to get here, you dug yourself.
So I can feel air through this, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, I just want to smash it then.
Okay. Boom.
No, so I back up while he smashes it.
Okay. You knock down this loosely packed clump of dirt, and you spill into what looks like an old abandoned laboratory. There are various beakers and vials, and a large table covered in what looks like old organic material. It smells like rot, but beyond that, you're not really sure what it is. And
Doesn't smell familiar to any of us?
Say again?
Doesn't smell familiar?
It doesn't smell familiar, no. The only thing of any, obvious marking is that there's a big tapestry on the wall with this big red eye set on black ink.
I'm assuming that wasn't exactly subtle.
the tapestry.
Right
no, I mean smashing the wall and like.
No. I assume you just kind of Conan through the.
Yeah.
Conan's many things: strong, surprisingly wise, a brilliant military tactician. He's surprisingly perfect, but he's not subtle.
Coolio. Okay. I suppose I'll have a look at that red. I want to have a look behind the tapestry.
Okay. Do you you have claws? How do you get behind the tapestry? Do you just shred it? Do you try and poke your big owlbear head behind it? What do you?
I was gonna sort of peel it back.
I just hook it with the claw and tenderly move it out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay. You see a large metal safe set into the side of the wall. Ooh. And by large, I mean big enough to hold a person. Big.
Ooh.
Okay, I want to move that tapestry right out the way.
Okay. You owlbear, you manhandle it, and you get it on the floor.
Oh, don't care about how preserved it is now. I don't think my head will smash that though.
No, probably not. It looks pretty sturdy.
I've entered the room right behind him because I was right there.
Yeah, is there anyone more intelligent?
You see Hermes disrespect an ancient tapestry, and now there's a safe built into the wall.
Oh, our thief is missing.
Yeah.
That would have been really handy right about now.
What you're looking at is it's a big metal door, and there was what looks like an eyelet set in the front of it, and a place with a hole in it, a place where you might slide something through, but you don't see a key or a bar or anything like that laying around.
Is there a gap around the door? Could I feed my claw through and have a feel?
It's set in there pretty tight. Definitely not.
No.
Can I take a look at it?
Sure, yeah.
Being that I am a tinker or a worker of things, we never quite established the background here. But
I make stuff.
I'm gonna say that I know how to make things, and I got my little illuminate cantrip, and I'd go up to the keyhole, and I'm looking in, and I send my light down in there.
Okay.
And I roll a wisdom check on my ability. I'm gonna make an argument that because I know gears and cogs and
that
things
sort of thing
that work together, that I could have a chance of figuring this thing out.
Definitely. Go for it.
I'm sort of breathing down his neck, looking at him.
So
with
I'm calling that a wisdom roll, unless you want to call it something else. And
No, wisdom's good.
I got an unnatural 20.
Nice. A supernatural 20. So you kind of, stare at it and gawk at it and shine your light in there, and you figure out that what you see, right, is that there's a metal lump, like a metal knuckle coming off the otherwise flush metal door. And there are little tiny lines in there, like the wear and tear you get on a tool that's been used 100 times. And what you'll need to open it is a specific metal bar that slides in there and lines into those slots. This is probably something that was custom made.
Do I have any silly putty I can?
I don't believe you picked any of that up. No.
Search the room for the appropriate tool.
Yeah, sure. Go for it. Do you want to roll for that, or how are you looking?
I don't know. I'm looking around.
Okay.
I know what I'm looking for. So
True.
Tell us what we're looking for so we can help you.
There, I think I would find it.
Any sort of desks or cupboards?
Okay. You as you dig through the room, there's the big table with the little leftover, smells like rot, but beyond that, it's just old organic material. It could be plants, could have been a person. Who knows?
So I don't find anything.
You don't find anything. There's no desks or anything, just the table. Various speakers and whatnot. They're all empty. Some of them have been yellowed with age.
Are there any pieces of metal that I could try and fashion something with?
There's a couple of little scraps of what looks like leftovers from a smith shop in the corner, but we're talking like shavings. It would be a lot of work to do that. But I mean, you could.
These beakers got anything in them?
No, they're all empty. Some of them smell good. Some of them smell terrible. But all of them are empty. Some of them are yellowed with age. Some of them have this green-looking film on the inside. But none of them are.
I learned in high school chemistry, always waft, never smell.
I did not take chemistry in high school. That is a lesson I learned the hard way in the kitchen instead. You ever make homemade mustard? That'll take the hair out of your nose.
You got lucky with chemistry. That chemistry teacher in high school, she'd been a college professor. She'd stand at the door, and mark you late, make you take a quiz until you got home. Yeah.
Good call.
Junior year was terrible.
Ugh.
Be glad you got away with not having her.
So waft, don't smell. I'm gonna keep that. That's a good plan. Yeah. To be fair, the homemade mustard, I made that like in a restaurant. You can't not smell. It fills the whole building. Ugh. So you could probably manufacture, like if you could come up with a source of heat to melt down the metal, you could make your own. Yeah.
Didn't we have some metal weapons from the villagers too?
I assumed they had provided you with everything they possibly could provide you with. I mean, the journeyman is like their walking god on this plane.
Yeah.
Only a humble servant.
Can I knock the table and the legs off the table?
Wait, you want to knock the legs off the table?
Yeah, I tell the guys that if I could have the right tool, there's, I could, if I had a piece of metal I could file down, I could make a key for this. I see what it's supposed to be shaped like.
Right. So you knock the legs off the wooden table. When you smash them off, the table falls over, obviously, right? What's left of the organic rot falls onto the ground. The table flips over because you're big. And there are these metal rings that had been socketed to the bottom of it to reinforce the legs.
Right. And the legs are just wooden tables.
The legs are wooden, but between the 4 metal cuffs, you can probably manufacture. That's more metal for the tool making. I mean, the key making. I mean, the rod making. You know what I mean?
The making.
The making, right.
I say, funny man, and I point at metal.
Which one of you is the funny man? And why
I know.
Is he
Story maker.
Jesus Christ.
So who has the smith's kit that can help?
I've got a smith's kit.
I got it.
I think I've got a smith's kit, but I feel like I'm a bear.
An old bear smashing.
I think the smith kit would be helpful to the journeyman.
Yeah.
Does the journeyman have a.
Bring on the Smith's kit.
I'm happy to donate mine to you if you don't have one.
I don't have one. I really should have one.
You really should, yeah.
I'll go ahead and take mine off, and you add one on.
You're giving me your Smith's kit?
I'm giving you my Smith's kit.
Because I'm sure that your very clever little fingers are great work for Smith's kit.
That's my thinking.
Your talon.
Yeah.
So I with the Smith's kit, I take did we find a piece of metal? I thought
you had a bunch of little shavings and leftover bits of rods and the 4 cups that he found when he tore the table into pieces.
Use the table pieces
just need like a piece of
fire.
metal, like.
Yeah. So with the Smith's kit, I imagine there's a tinderbox in there that you can, make fire with.
Well, I have guys, let's use the 5 torches deep rules here. I have supply. Can I not make what I'm,
Did you bring it though?
Right. Supply doesn't let you conjure up quantum equipment.
So we would have to start a fire and melt metal. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Move on.
Well, if we have something that's long and straight enough, it would just have to be hot enough for you to manipulate.
I mean, believe it or not, I do have an iklua.
Which is what?
It's an iklua. It's basically a fancy monk spear.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it made out of metal?
Good question.
It's your weapon. You tell me.
I don't see why not.
Now, the next question is, are you willing to break a piece of it off or alter an end of it so that the journeyman can use it as a...
Alter it.
Badly do we want... Is there any other doors in this room?
Not that you can see on the walls, but I imagine you looked pretty heavily as you were digging
around. And outside this room is the trap that we disarmed? But we haven't got to the fire trap yet.
You have not. You'd have to go back the way you came and either through the teeth or keep digging the way you came. As you search this room, you do feel a little bit of air coming from the roof above you. Upon further inspection, there was what looks like a round disc, like a line set into the ceiling.
A round disc set into the ceiling. How have we descended much since going into this tunnel?
You've descended quite a bit, yeah.
Right. So that couldn't be the
far?
above our heads then.
Well, let's see. First, you went down into the guy's basement, so you're already under, a floor's worth underground. And then you went through a tunnel from there, which is level, and then you went down from there. So your average floor being 8 to 10 feet, depending on what country you're in and who you ask, you're at least 20 feet underground.
Right. So no, that's not fresh air we're hearing.
Say that again?
We're hearing air through a disc?
You're feeling a little bit of air through what looks like maybe a hatch of some kind set into the ceiling, yeah.
But it's not mist.
No, it's definitely normal air. It's not, it doesn't feel funny. It doesn't fill your lungs differently. It's definitely just air.
Okay. That's all right. That's the important bit. Yeah, I don't mind allowing the tinker to modify my iklua. I'm pretty much committed to my great axe. I'm just pointing the iklua at this.
So you're going to hand over a fancy metal weapon to a priest so that he can shove it into a vault that you don't know what's on the other side.
I'm assuming that this pole he needs to make is basically a pole with notches put into it as if it was a pole.
Yeah, the weapon wouldn't be ruined or anything. It would I'm just making sure I understand the plan here. Okay. Yeah, sure. If you're up for that and the journeyman's up for making the modifications to it.
Yep.
All right. So
we have a missing montage.
That's great.
Crafting montage.
I'll have to get like a video for that. That's good stuff. So you know, a little clank clank later, right? You've got
I get my Dremel out.
Neat. Safety first, right? Put the goggles on, right? You modify the edge of the what is it?
An Iklua.
Okay. Monk spear. Okay, you modify the edge of
So I get it, and then I stick it. How long did this take me? Like an hour?
Yeah, an hour thereabouts. Yeah,
just getting some holes. I mean, I really don't even think it would take that long. So, and I stick it in the
little knuckle on the front of the vault, right?
Yes.
It clicks into place, and you spin it, right, like a submarine door.
Okay.
And the door swings open, and there's a little tiny, and I do mean small, like a pinky ring in there, with a tiny little blue gem in it.
Well, I pick it up.
Okay.
And I show it to Jet. What do you make of this, mage friend?
Wait, am I not up above blowing the mist away?
I thought you had gone
for an hour.
Did we all go down?
I kind of thought you would follow them after the mist, you know, after they'd gone down the tunnel and they had disabled the bone trap.
Yeah. So they went down the tunnel. I thought they went down into where the bone trap was.
They backed up and made a new tunnel, like manually, with your shovel.
Right. Yes. Okay. All right. I'm with them then.
Okay. The journeyman hands out this little tiny ring to you with a blue gem in it, and immediately it just fills your nose and mouth and throat with the crackle of intense magic.
Ooh. Well.
And the journeyman was just gonna, screw it, and walk away.
Well, maybe you want to let me hold on to this for a while and I'll have a look at it.
Sure.
Just don't put it in the same pocket as your oversized marble.
Well, let me try it on first.
Hey, you guys don't know about that marble. Only Jason does. He's sleeping.
And he's not here, right? Wait, so you want to keep the ring? Is that right there, juryman? Hammer time?
There we go. I tell him I'll keep a hold of it until you can tell me more. Is it like,
does it vibrate for you? No
vibration for me. Why don't we try it on, see if Jit, can you tell me anything about this?
Can I just do a standard intelligence check? I know it's not really going to work, but I don't know about using a magic spell right now because I don't. Oh, wait. Is that a cantrip? No, that's. So I'll be taking a risk if I do detect magic on it.
You can make an intelligence check. Yeah, sure.
Taking a risk if you detect magic on it. Come on, detect magic.
Do it.
Well, you can already tell there's magic.
What's gonna happen? A tentacle?
But no, I mean, I know it's. I know it's magical.
See, this is your fault because you play Dungeon Crawl Classics with him. This is your fault. Now he's hyper paranoid.
There's no magic in the funnel.
Oh, that's true.
17 on the 17 including my modifier.
For an intelligence check? Sure.
Yeah.
Looking at the ring, the gem is old. You've only seen a couple of these before. It's solidified starfire.
Solidified starfire. Okay, you know what? I'm going to detect magic with a roll.
Like sold. I don't care about the risk anymore.
And I'm gonna bless him with the Providence cantrip. He has +1.
Nice.
Thank you. The rest of you guys might want to stand back a bit. I don't know.
I I see him being cautious with it, and I like lift what's left of the table up and just.
And I hide behind Hermes because he's bigger than the table.
I just wield my shield with both hands just in
Did you
case.
hear that? Your son's like, screw it. He goes back in the tunnel.
That's the smart
All
thing.
right, you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Oh crap!
Oh, nuts.
Oh crap!
What'd you get?
Uh-oh.
Oh crap!
One.
One.
Oh.
I thought it was a 7 at first. I'm just gonna take a look. No, it's definitely a 1. It's a 1.
So now you roll again on the magical mishap table?
Definitely.
With the 20-sided die.
Yep. Roll again.
Oh, look at that! Another 1.
Oh.
Holy crap!
Oh, that sucks.
See, I told you I shouldn't have done this.
Caster takes 1d6 per spell level damage.
Yep. So you're what, level 3? Roll 3d6. You take that much damage as white hot lightning burns your body from the inside out.
Just me or everybody?
Just you.
We're all hiding, except for the
tunnel.
So everybody
All
who
right.
ran away is going to be fine.
Had someone been close to me, would they have been damaged?
No,
Oh.
it's just you.
No, it was specified to caster.
So 3 die 6. I got 3. Oh, 6.
Total? That's
3,
not
2,
bad.
and a 1.
Nice.
6 damage.
How many hit points do you have left?
I rolled well when I leveled up. I have 22 hit points.
Wow. Hardy
So-
mage.
You have more hit points than me.
I could have survived this even if I rolled 3 6s.
Jeez.
I also got my constitution's 14. I made sure I had constitution. there.
Nice. Good call.
So
White
6
hot fire
damage?
burns up your blood and cooks you from the inside, and that hurts. Right. Smoke comes out of your flesh for a second.
Only
look-
he could have burned some luck.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't figure out what it is either.
No, you're pretty sure that you got nothing out of the ring. You just got a shock to the system. I suppose you could try again. I mean, what are the odds of you rolling 2 1s in a row again?
That would be 3 1s. Okay, so wait, hold on. I think I'm gonna try it again. I have how many hit points? I lost 6.
Rush out.
That
I got
heal you.
16.
Yeah, I need to go into the tunnel now too.
He doesn't forget his spell or anything?
No. You can totally. Oh wait, that's right. Yes, you rolled on the magical mishap table. You lose access to all level spells from the level you cast until you
Are
get
you
a
sure
safe
about-
rest. Pretty sure. I mean,
I don't know. Is it?
let me
I didn't
double
read
check, but
that.
I'm pretty sure. Let me go back to the magic section because I remember there's a specific thing that happens when you roll a 1 on the magic mishap table.
Failure triggers a mishap. Any failure, not just a 1, eh?
Oh yeah, you roll the magic mishap table no matter what. But I thought there was a second whenever you fail. But I thought there was a second magical. Where is that?
Failure triggers a mishap, unintended consequences. Can't attempt spells of that level again until they take a safe rest. Okay, that was a level 1 spell, which is all of mine except for my cantrips, and I have 1 level 2 spell.
Ouch.
Jeez.
So you can cast your cantrips and you can take a shot on that level 2 spell. Although given your last attempt, I might not do that.
Oh, you know what? Well, that's Shadowfield. Okay. You know what? I'm good.
That hurts.
Wait until we're sort of back into town.
Wait, Hermes backs up until he's into the town again?
No. Maybe wait to check the ring again.
I see. Okay. Right. So if he liquidates the lot of you, it's you and the townsfolk, not just you. Right.
Go down and hit.
Okay. So you've got this ring that's definitely magical, and you're in this room. Jit has cooked the level 1 magic out of his body. What are you guys doing from here?
What else is in the room?
Not much. The vaults, there's nothing else in there. You've got a ruined table. Hermes saw to that. A tapestry on the floor that's black with a red eye painted onto it. A bunch
Honestly,
of
though,
Does anyone want to check the tapestry?
Given what just happened, be specific. Check, like magically scanned, or just like Bocat?
I ain't doing any more magic.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do cantrips all day, but my shadow field is for my protection, I think. No, that's good for the whole party. That's the darkness one. Okay, all right.
That's one of the reasons the wizard class, or is it the wizard class? The mage class, the core class. At level 9, you get to pick one spell that's up to level 3, and just now for you it's a cantrip. That's crazy, because now you can take fireball, right? And you just never roll for that. You just do it, which is insane.
I will roll up that tapestry and take it with me.
Okay, sure. It's pretty tall, but it's not particularly wide. It's more like a banner, and you roll it up and you stick it into your furry backpack.
Yeah, one of the pouches on my armor.
Okay, sure.
Area.
So you guys stay in this room and go back to the tunnel. What's the plan? Joseph, you haven't said anything for a couple minutes.
I reckon we should go back out into the cave. I think. I don't know.
We've disabled the trap.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Because he said there's another trap, wasn't it? The fire one.
Looking
We
forward to
see
that.
anything that could help us with the fire trap?
Not in this room, no. The occasional beaker, right? You haven't seen the fire trap yet.
I was gonna say, is that water skin filled?
The water skin that the guys gave you, yeah, it holds water. That's how they figured out it holds water, by shoving water
Is
into
it full of water already or no?
Oh yeah, like a day's worth.
Okay. Maybe put it out on the fire.
So there's nothing interesting in that room.
No, other than the ring. What?
Grab the tapestry.
I've done it.
He did.
Oh.
Has it.
Oh, okay.
Elvis.
Should go to the traps.
Are you guys headed back out into the original hallway, or you're gonna keep digging in the one you made?
Back out, I think.
I think we can go through the teeth trap now. The bone trap.
Sure, yeah. Do you all do that as a big group, or what's the plan?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check on the mist first.
While I do it, I want to hold my Iklua that I just got off the journeyman with its newfound finger grips. And just keep it upright while I'm in there.
Sure, yeah.
I think I'll take table with me. Tabletop.
The what's left of the table up front, like an overgrown.
What's left?
Yeah, sure. You guys head back out of the hallway. I'll be right back. I realized I left a note for this in the other room. Sorry about that.
All right.
Escape!
Yeah.
I have one more animal to feed the fish. Be right back.
Yeah.
I was wondering how come I couldn't find my index card. Because it's not here.
Oh.
Everybody left.
Yeah, looking for your notes.
Someone went to feed a fish.
Okay.
I don't know where the journeyman went.
Oh, I'm sure off to make a thing. I'm sure.
What's a journey?
Or to journey, right? Journey to make a thing, right? You can do both.
Yeah.
Why not?
To the kitchen or something. Here you go. That's an Iklua.
Oh no, that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And you managed to use that with your claws?
It's got finger holes now.
So not really before, no.
Well, I never used it before. It was just in my inventory. Still doesn't do better than a great axe.
Yeah, right.
Shall we wait or shall we proceed?
How many
Do you guys want to proceed without the journeyman?
I'm gonna say we should take the horse and manders with us.
Yeah,
Sure.
definitely.
Hanging with us.
Sure, yeah. You guys head down into the previously trapped bone tunnel, right? Oh, and he's back with what looks like food. An offering to the tinker, right? It's a cheeseburger. There's a certain degree of order involved in making one of those. Oh, that looks yummy.
There's a constructive process.
Yeah.
Right, that's right. Right. You definitely assemble a cheeseburger. Definitely. So you guys head back into the tunnel, right? The tunnel gets even narrower. We're talking like 3 feet, 3.5 feet. It's uncomfortable for Hermes to squeeze his big owlberry shoulders through there. But he does. He loses a feather or two, right? But beyond that, you guys fit. The roof shrinks so you can see it. It's much closer to you. This is probably an 8-foot roof, a 3 foot by 8 foot like column space now. And you can see it's lit. You can see a bed of magma in front of you and what looks like little red pinpricks in the ceiling.
Raining fire.
About 15 or 20 feet from here, you can see what looks like a small leather tome set in the lava.
In the lava.
In the lava.
Yeah, that looks like the spell book you might be looking for.
There you go, Jet.
Go for it.
I wonder if lava comes out of the ceiling with all those little holes.
It's like running on hot coals. You just right?
Can I reach it with my igloo?
How long is your igloo? Is that thing 15 feet long?
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, we lost Jit. Where'd he go? Poof.
You went for the spell book.
Yeah, right.
That's how he succeeded.
And he's back. Did you get the spell book while you were gone?
What did I miss?
A lot.
You got the spell book.
Right, I said, where'd Jit go? And Jasad goes for the spell book, obviously. That was funny. So the spell book, the book that could definitely be your spell book, is 15 feet in front of you in the lava bed. The lava itself is kind of hard to gauge because it's roiling and rolling back and forth, but it's probably a couple of feet thick at least.
There's some small stone that we can toss it to throw it to see.
There are various little rubbly bits at the edge of this. Right, there's a various little lumps of rock you could throw. Yeah.
So I take one and throw it.
Throw it into the lava pit.
From the lava to the downhole.
Okay. You huck the rock, right? You're pretty hardy, warrior and all that. You beam the stone down the hallway, and you watch it fly, arc over the lava, and land in it some 35 feet down, and then it's gone in a little puff of melting smoke.
No more traps, just lava.
Nothing like shoots out of the ceiling or anything. No.
Oh, good. That's what I was worried about. Stuff shooting out of the ceiling.
How are we situated? Like, am I in front? Am I?
Oh, I don't know. Marching orders up to you.
I'm back because I have a fear of fire.
Okay.
So does Hermes.
Well, I mean, is lava fire?
It's kind of foreshadowing fire.
Right, it does burn. Yeah. I mean, I suppose for the purposes of fear, it's probably the same thing. Yeah.
Well, we've heard that there's a fire trap, and now we're seeing lava.
Yeah.
So where's the fire?
Yeah.
That's why I was wondering what was going to come out of the ceiling.
From the sides.
Yeah. Hermes is hanging
from the
back.
sides, you sound like there might be fire or flamethrowers on the side.
The lava light is pretty bright. You can see the chasm or the tunnel you're in pretty clearly. There are red pinpricks in the ceiling, and you have to strain your eyes to really see. But there are little tiny slots that are very well hidden in the walls. They're little rings that make up a hole, probably an inch across, and you can see them all the way down the tunnel. Somebody went to great lengths to hide them in the wall.
I want to throw some stone to that.
At one of those?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. You do that, and what looks like an arrow made out of sheer fire shoots out of it and cleans across the hallway into a hole on the other side and
I
vanishes
jump
into
backwards.
Yeah.
it. Like I
And apparently the dog comforts me.
Dog's like, no.
Just insistent on being pet.
I have a cat like that. He meets me at the door. He meows when I leave. He's like a little dog. I wonder if I can get him to bring me my shoes. Couldn't get a dog to do that. Does anyone have a dog that does that? I think that just happens in cartoons.
My dog is the world's stupidest German Shepherd.
Oh, don't be mean.
Oh, Joe, don't even try.
Mate, she'll headbutt you, but that's about it. Like, Jesus Christ.
She doesn't do that anymore.
What?
She doesn't do
That was
that
her
anymore.
best feature.
That's rough.
Just joking.
Oh, sorry,
I love
dog pun. Didn't mean to do that.
Has a hard head.
Oh, yeah.
Like an anvil.
Right now, she's like sat in her bed dreaming and like she's running. But
Hammer time. You've been saying anything the last couple of minutes. What are you thinking about this trap? I don't.
Who? Me?
Yes, you.
I don't completely understand it. What's going, like, in terms of, I just didn't catch the.
Oh, I'm sorry. So you're looking at what so
the
far
pool
is
of lava.
Mhm. The pool of lava lights the area up very well. The pool of lava is about 35 feet long.
Uh-huh.
The ceiling is 8 feet up. The walkway itself, like the width of the lava tunnel, is about 3 feet. It's not very wide at all.
So it's only wide enough for one person, really.
Yes. The ceiling is about 8 feet up and has little tiny red pin pricks in it.
That are shooting lava arrows.
No, they haven't done anything yet. There are little slots, little discs, little holes like set into the walls. And when somebody threw, how did you guys make that go off again?
Didn't
Threw something and hit it.
Yes. Right, yes. Jason threw a rock at one of them.
Yeah,
And
that's why I said that. Didn't a lava arrow come out of it?
Yes, but from one wall into the other, not the ceiling.
Okay. I don't feel like I have stuff to work with here. That's like the thing is like, okay, there's a trap, but I'm not sure like.
Can you?
I kind of feel like at a loss with these traps. Like, what do I do?
Can I try throwing something, but it not hit the floor?
Say that one more time, Hermes.
Can I try throwing something towards the end of the tunnel without it hitting the floor?
How exactly? You're talking about hurling it over the entire lava pit, or something that somehow hovers in the air?
No, just go for it. Just yeet it.
Yes.
I never thought I'd hear you say yeet.
That's
Jesus
great.
fucking Christ.
Yeah, you're an owl bear, and that's a pretty big throw, but you're also, a wild animal. Yeah, you huck the rock that far, it lands with a little. You're pretty sure you heard something like sand or something very soft on the other end of the tunnel, on the other end of the lava.
The trap.
Nothing happens. No.
Now the tunnel's 3 feet wide, and so is the lava, right?
Yes, the lava fills the space, and the tunnel's about 3 feet wide, give or take. You could muscle your way through. It's not like a perfectly smooth 3 feet or anything, but.
And it's about 35 feet across.
Yes.
And there's little pin pricks, red pin pricks in the ceiling.
Yes.
Can the salamander? Oh, the arrows, right?
Can I try getting on the ceiling before all these pin pricks?
Can you like on the ceiling and kind of wiggle between them, or you mean like on the ceiling right at the threshold of them, like where they start?
Right before they start, right on the threshold.
Yeah, sure. That'll be a kind of an awkward squeeze. Your friends will have to back up for a second, but I don't see why they wouldn't do that. You can owl monkey your way up the side of the wall. Yeah. So here you are upside down, filling almost half of the space, right?
with my igloo, I just want to have a poke around and make sure I don't set anything off.
Okay. Are you poking around them, or are you going to poke one of them?
I can poke them and the area around. I want to cover all bases.
Okay. When you poke one, right, the ceiling shakes a little bit, and a bit of lava kind of pops out of it and falls in the lava below. And there's it's lava mixed with this black inky looking stuff. It's kind of gloppy.
Beautiful.
What happens to the inky looking stuff when it hits the lava?
It just sits in it.
I wonder if we get more of this inky stuff on the lava, if it'll help.
Is there any inscriptions or writing or anything?
Now, you're priest of the tinker. Yeah, let's say you can piece that one together. Looking around the space, right? You don't see any kind of runes carved into the wall or set in the lava or anything. But on further inspection, you're pretty smart. Between you and the mage, right? The wizard, the little red pinpricks
from the original is wise arse.
Oh yeah. The little red pinpricks.
Very Pratchett footnote, actually.
The little red pinpricks spell out a language that is old, but you guys are familiar with it. And in that language, it says, "When night falls upon heat, the path is clean."
Did they share that with all of us? We all.
I have no idea.
When night falls upon heat.
There's an inscription here in the holes. It says, "When night falls upon heat, the path is clean." I have no idea what to make of it.
But didn't some black ink just come out from the ceiling and land on the tar or on the lava?
So how do we get more of the night, the black inky night, to fall upon the lava?
I start stabbing as many nodules as I can reach.
Hermes, keep going. Keep stabbing it.
And do a shuffle.
So the owl bear up there looks like an Olympian, right? He perforates the ceiling, and inky glop falls out of one pinprick, and then another, and then another, and then another. And he kind of gets a groove going, right? Like some sort of woodworker, right? And next thing you know, the black inky stuff has covered enough of the lava and kind of drowned it out and smothered it that you could walk across fairly easily. It's still warm in here, but, a foot, like when people test pools, you won't hurt yourself.
So we cross?
I walk across.
Yeah.
Without touching the sides.
Okay.
Good balance.
I appreciate the correction. I appreciate the clarification, and so does the journeyman. So as you guys cross the way, right, you get to the tunnel and you find that rock you threw, and it's set in this kind of dusty sand stuff, like something right out of a desert dune. There's about 5 or 10 feet worth of that, and then a set of stairs that look like they're made out of pressed sandstone.
Where's that spell book?
Under the goopy stuff, but you know where it is. You could go back and get it if you wanted.
Of course.
I assume you want it, right?
Yeah. I don't want to walk I'm not walking past it.
Without digging through the gut to get the book. Okay.
Can I get it? Can I reach it?
Definitely. You fuss through the inky stuff, and you come up with a worse than it was before looking, but still intact book with some black inky splotches on the cover. And there what looks like an etched vial, like it's a leather-bound volume, and the front of it has looks like somebody scratched it into the leather. The word blood, and they've been painted in with some red.
Blood. Nice. I like blood.
You creep.
So can I wipe off that inky stuff?
Most of it. Some of it's stuck on pretty well, but you can just wipe off the rest of it.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a little bit of a clean and then put it in my I guess backpack.
Sure.
Do I have a backpack?
Just so I'm clear, you're not gonna go through the spell book.
Right now, no.
Okay. Well, you're you.
You should. Maybe.
I'm not saying
I know.
you're power hungry or anything. I'm just saying you tend to react to magic doodads.
I like magic. And I'm also here on a mission.
To conquer all of the people. No. So
Collecting
here,
all things magical.
assuming that you guys then go, like you go back with your friends, you guys are looking at a regular size staircase that looks like it's made out of pressed sandstone that goes up maybe 20 or 30 steps to a door that you can see from here. It's framed with 2 sconces, and it also looks like something you might find on a caliph's front door.
I'm going to take another one of my torches and toss it down the hall. Good old torch toucher.
Okay. I thought you would come to the end of the tunnel and were looking at the stairs, or did you stay back where you were?
Oh, where is everyone else? Are we moving together? That's kind of...
I kind of thought you had moved as a group down the tunnel, and
what I was
doubled back for the spell book. Rather, I misinterpreted. He stopped when he got to the spell book, and then picked it up, and then went the rest of the way down what was once a lava tunnel.
Right.
Yeah, I left the fire room as soon as possible.
Okay. Once you get to the edge of the lava space, there's like 10 or 15 feet of what looks like desert sand set in the tunnel. Just you find that rock you threw, right? And then there's a series of sandstone steps. Sorry, my brain and my tongue just had an argument. Sandstone steps. Probably 15 or 20 of them up to the top of this. You can see it. There's a big door that looks like it's made out of pressed sand. It has a window in it and everything. And 2 sconces, one on either side, frame it.
I throw tabletop onto the sand.
Onto the regular sand in front of you?
Yeah.
Sure. It lands in the sand with a thud.
Mm-hmm. So I'll step on the tabletop
Okay.
and trying to go to the stairs.
And how? So you kind of like, how do you do that? You kind of just shift your weight. You ever kick a ladder? Is that the idea?
Like in stealth or something, going crouching.
Okay. So you kind of the board. That's gonna be. I mean, it's like that's like swimming through dirt. That's gonna be a huge pain in the ass. But you're pretty strong, and you kind of muscle your way.
Sand surfing.
Right, sand surfing. But you look kind of awkward doing it, but you do manage to shove the table the 15 feet across the sand. And by this point, you've kind of dug a pretty big gouge into the sand bed, but nothing happens or anything. I don't know if your friends look at you funny.
Hermes is like this.
Thank you.
I'm here all week, right?
You said the door had a window in it.
The door has a window in it. Yeah, you'll have to climb the stairs to see in it, but the door definitely has a window in it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
I want to very carefully go. Yeah, very carefully go up those stairs.
You get up to the top of the staircase, and you're looking inside. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Carefully.
Okay. Do you stealth up them, or you just kind of do?
Yeah, stealth.
Okay.
Stealth.
Make a stealth check, would you?
Yeah, of course.
Please tell me that. Is that plus dex?
A stealth check?
Yeah.
Dexterity, I think.
I mean, you're an owl bear. But yeah, all right, fine, why not?
If I add my dex, then it is 11 dead.
18.
Much better. So Jazan you're wearing armor and a bunch of blades, aren't you?
Light armor, yeah.
Okay. And you managed to, like a Looney Tune up the side of the staircase.
You
right?
can just tell him no if it doesn't make any sense.
I know.
Yeah, go on.
You look through the window, and there is a rather fat man in some bright blue robes who's kind of looking out the window back at you. You didn't get the drop on him at all. And he just kind of motions to come inside. He does that thing with the fingers, He goes, please come inside, eat.
Oh shit.
Do not eat.
Yeah. Wow, in the labyrinth, yeah.
If we eat, we might end up like the people in the Odyssey who end up turned into animals.
Was that food? I thought Circe just kind of went whitey. No?
I don't remember. I have to reread it.
Yeah, I haven't read the Odyssey in a very long time. I don't think I've ever read the Iliad. Maybe. I don't remember.
Read parts of the Iliad.
Oh, they went with the guys went on pigs. They when
I can't remember if they ate and they were there for a feast, I think, and then no, there's another one. They were there for a feast, and then they all got kind of like bewitched.
Yeah, they get bewitched a bunch of times. I think they only get turned into animals the one time, but some bad stuff happens to their brains like all the time.
Yeah.
Odysseus and his crew get kicked in the pants pretty hard multiple times.
Well, because he's too cocky.
That or the gods are too petty. I mean, just the one, really.
He was like, haha, see, I won the Trojan War without your help.
And it's not like they said, no, you didn't. Right?
It's like, you think you don't need us? We're going to show you that you need us.
And as I recall, the only god who got all uppity was Poseidon. Anyway, there's a very large fat man, right, who gestures you come inside. He goes, please bring your friends. Anyone who beats the tunnel is a friend of mine, or at least of value.
Okay, so I'll open the door and saying to the party that some guy invites us to take a feast.
Is he a human?
Definitely. A very wide human, but a human.
A wide human.
A human who eats well, if you know what I'm saying.
Human who eats adventurers.
Well, come on. Don't get all paranoid on me, or do.
Hermes is like coming through the door, but he's stabbing the floor like a step ahead of him with his little Icklua everywhere he goes.
Paranoia, right?
I walk up. Can I talk to this guy?
Absolutely. As soon as so you all enter the space, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He greets each of you, right, with a bow, and he tips his overgrown blue hat. It's got this big red gem shoved in the middle of it. He kind of looks like a caricature of a sultan. Right? And he goes, hello.
Who do you serve?
Oh, only my own interests. Before you ask, my interests are most often food and fine company.
I guessed the first one.
He goes, my name is Alphonse. What brings you into the tunnel?
We're looking for a dwarf, trying to solve a mystery, so to speak.
Oh, I've seen him. He came through here. He refused to eat with me. I can't make him, of course. That's not hospitable.
Well,
I'm not.
I think we should sit down with him. Why not? What could happen?
Yeah.
What could happen?
At the end of a hallway where people.
What's the worst that could happen?
Wouldn't the dwarf get a little bit more? Well, we don't. We have no how. How long ago did the dwarf pass through here?
Oh, must have been yesterday evening. Time passes. I imagine the same down here. I just don't really pay attention. There are greater things to pay attention to. Fine wine, for example, and he holds up this goblet that is way too big. Kind of like that one, but a bit larger and a bit more full. And he goes, fine wine, fine food, and he holds up this golden plate with his other hand that's just piled high with cheeses and savory meats. And he goes, forget about him. Sit, drink, eat, and I will tell you everything you want to know later.
You have any Wensleydale?
He goes, would a fine cheddar be acceptable? Of course not. Absolutely not.
Do you live here?
Oh, no. This is my summer home. I live far away from here.
Summer home.
How did you get
Sounds
here?
like a serial killer's lair.
I say why traps like between eating savory meats and like stuffing my face.
He goes, I didn't make those. They came with the parcel of land. It does prevent me from having a lot of visitors, but then again, I don't have to share the food. And he doesn't mean to. He looks down at his belly reflectively for a second, turns a shade of pink because he notices he did it, and goes, here, eat. And he hands you another plate of food.
Okay, I sit down. What am I muted here? No, I'm not. I sit down and I seek to have some food.
Sure, yeah. He goes, can I bring you anything specific? You look like a man who could use something to eat. You look like a man who is distinguished and perhaps has preferences for the table.
Oh,
just no fat.
No preferences right now. Anything you can serve me.
Sure. And he snaps his fingers and calls servant, hello, where are you? I'm sorry, good help is so hard to find. And these two bumbling, they look like grown men, but they're hunched over and they do not look very well fed, right? And they come out with giant chests like on their backs, and they help each other pull out another tray of food and another tray of food and another tray of food. And next thing you know, this table, which is far too small, has grown just piled with food. There were trays on the floor, there were trays on the table, there were trays on the chairs next to the table. There's enough food in there for you to literally drown in.
I whisper over to Jet. I was like, do you smell anything funny here?
I want to see if I'm sensing magic. I also want to know, are there any doors in the room? Where did these servants come from? And
you see
what else is in the room?
So you see the room itself is fairly round. It's a big dome-shaped deal. There's a table in the middle that is sizable, like a banquet table, but it's too small when compared to all the food they've brought out of it. The table itself is fairly large. It probably holds 15 people if they're not as big as he is. There are three doors, not counting the one you came through, one on each wall. The one straight across from you looks like the one you just came through. The one the servants came through on the left looks like the one you just came through. The one on the right looks much different. It's black and it has these ornate like etchings carved into it. Not an image per se, more like the kind of thing you might find carved on the edge of a knife. It's pretty. It doesn't necessarily tell a story.
Okay, am I sensing anything magical?
A little bit. The servants have a whiff of magic to them.
Oh, wait a minute. Can I still do this? It's a first level spell.
So last time we talked about, I think that was this group, detect magic. As a mage, you have a natural kind of smell for magic. Okay.
All right. So am I sensing anything?
You smell a little bit of magic on them, right?
Okay. Well, I communicate that with the tinker there. I say, I smell something very familiar to my trade.
Hmm.
And I don't think he means the white hot fire from earlier.
Fair or foul?
Could I do an intelligence check, maybe?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, and I'll use a different dice this time.
Wise choice.
Oh, great. 6.
So they smell like magic, and you're not really sure if there's any intent in it at all.
Hmm. And he
communicate that.
Well, let's at least eat and see what we can discover.
I'm not eating. Just pretending.
He looks up with like food in either hand and his mouth full of food, just like, oh,
we hadn't thought of that. So, Nathan, I just want to point out that I love that you're playing a holy man, and where your light is, you kind of glow, and I think that's really cool.
Oh, my light, yes.
Yeah, the one
realized that.
There's a certain degree of That's cool.
Getting ready for my icon to be drawn up.
Ah. So there's you guys eat, is that the idea? Who's not eating?
Me.
Just you?
Yeah, I'll eat. Why not?
Okay.
I'll eat.
I think I'll pass on the food.
This sounds important. This sounds like Hermes is a very, very not clever owl bear.
So Alphonse looks decidedly disappointed that the two of you don't eat, but he doesn't like try and force you to eat anything. He does occasionally like eyeball you and then motion towards the plate of food and kind of like, you can eat, but he doesn't say anything.
Lots of waste.
He does ask you about your travels and who you are and that sort of thing. And not to be rude, he shares a story too about his life. He says, I come from far away. I come from the desert called the Ma. It's up on the northern tip of the continent.
Does he know anything about this metal city that we recently discovered?
He tells you that he's read about it in books, but he's never actually been there. He's not like he comes here for exploration. He comes here for the house. It was cheap.
We're
Came with the
underground,
servants.
right?
You are underground, yes.
How does he get here?
He points at the big metal black door and goes, there's a wind chute there. It's kind of disorienting the first couple of times, but you get used to it.
A wind chute. What is that?
I mean, I would show you, but it would blow all the food everywhere, which is how come that door's bolted shut.
So you go in and it shoots you off to another part of the world.
That's the idea. Yeah. You open the door, you jump in, you make sure to slam the door shut behind you. They didn't tell me about that. Read the fine print when you buy something, and you.
So which way did this dwarf go?
The dwarf took the wind chute to where, I have no idea. He asked me if he could use it.
And why did you let him?
He ate. Well, rather, he refused to eat. He was rude. I don't want somebody like that staying in my house. You two get to stay because they're nice.
I'm taking the
traveling
food.
as a group. Who am I to break up?
I'm nice. I'm just not very hungry.
I'm starting to eat.
I thought you were pretending to eat.
Right, faking it. He's cheeking everything when nobody's looking.
Now I'm chewing.
It goes over his shoulder and he goes,
Yeah. He goes, what surprises me now that you mention it is the wind tunnel, you need to know where you're going. There has to be an intent in it. I've never used it to go anywhere but the Ma and to here again.
So the wind tunnel can take you anywhere?
Anywhere anywhere you've already been and you know the name of, yeah.
Can it take us to a person? So if our intent was to find the dwarf.
I've never thought of that. I don't know. I mean, you can try if you like. It certainly won't hurt you. If it doesn't work, it'll just kind of toss you back into the room. If you would mind, I'd like you to wait until we pick up all the food and the plates, because last time they went all over the place and ruined my really wonderful woodwork. And he motions to the fine oak woodwork set into the walls.
What do you guys think? I mean, we don't know where this guy's going, and we have to know where he's going to use the wind tunnel.
Not just that, I'm skeptical about this guy, I'll be honest.
He's like, I don't know. Guy takes
I'm eating the food just to be nice, but at the same time, I feel like I'm about to pass out within 5 minutes.
Guy takes a summer home underground next to a tunnel full of death. I can see how you might be paranoid.
Yeah, see, real life Mike is thinking this is a bad idea. Hermes is thinking food.
Please eat, stay. It's not every day I get polite company. I have beds if you'd like to stay the night and rest. I imagine getting through that ick tunnel of discomfort wasn't.
Could I ask him where he got his waiters from, like his slaves? Like, did
those are
find
two boys.
them?
No, those are my brothers.
Your brothers?
Your brothers?
They're my brothers.
Why can't they seem to get a decent meal?
Because I don't feed them. I mean, I do, but I feed them the scraps. Look, don't look at me like that. Ma society is different. You wouldn't understand.
I mean, your rules, your house, but...
My brother would never wait on me.
Same here.
He looks at Jed and goes, you're a student of magic. You probably picked up on that. Before you get all uncomfortable, if you're smelling magic on them, I turn their voices off because all they ever do is talk.
You turned their voices
Starve 'em.
Best brother award goes to.
No, smartest brother award goes to.
Now, can I'm
That
gonna
one in
attempt
the
to
line.
mind whisper to the brothers.
Sure, it's a cantrip. Yeah, why not?
I want to know: are you guys?
Are you okay?
They kind of resent into both of their brains like at the same time, or you picking one?
Whatever one.
Okay.
The one on the left.
Okay.
Which one isn't Tweedledummer?
you peer into his brain, and he kind of sends back a mental message, right? He goes, yeah, we're fine. It was a bad bet. In a year, we're done with this nonsense. Everything he told you is true. He really is our brother. We really are, fine. We eat. He turned our voices off. Look, Ma culture is different. No one ever understands.
Okay. And where's all this food coming from?
They motion to the kitchen door, the one they came from. First, if you go through there's a hallway. First room on the left is a giant larder. First room on the right is the master bedroom. The next one on the right is for guests.
How often do you go shopping?
Frequently.
Not very much these days.
We get our food from the Ma and then bring it back here.
Now, is it safe for
Tell
us to
more
spend
about
the
the
night
Ma.
here?
Sorry?
Sorry.
Is it safe for us to spend the night?
We don't see why not. Just don't make a bet with our brother and lose.
A bet.
That's why we're in this condition.
I can't be talking to this guy. You're talking.
That's true. I'm sorry. You said something a minute ago, though. I'm sorry.
Go on.
Okay. Jit, you were saying? Uh-oh. Jit, you there?
He's frozen.
Froze on us again.
I see that. Yep.
He'll be back.
You lost the bet.
So, and he's back. Jit, what was that you were saying?
I just wanted to ask them if it's safe for us to spend the night here.
It should be. Just don't make a bet with our brother and lose. We lost a foot race.
Okay. I'm okay for spending the night.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what Jit knows. He hasn't told us yet.
The spell book.
Why do we need to spend the night at the moment, though? I mean, yes, I know that Jit can't use any of his first level spells, but
and he took damage. Though I suppose it's not a sizable amount of damage because he's a hardy mage.
I suppose, yeah.
The journeyman can heal him.
Pardon?
You might need my magic.
Journeyman can heal him.
Yeah, I can heal if we stay overnight.
I have bread too.
Which way do the doors open into the bedroom? Into the guest room?
All the doors open towards you in the entire complex.
Towards the room that it's in, or towards, say, the hallway?
So from the kitchen, from the dining hall, right? You would open the door towards you, like it would open towards you.
Right.
So and then in the hallway, all the doors are hinged like that, except the big heavy one that you push into the window.
Right. So Hermes couldn't, say, sleep in the way of the door and stop him getting in the room then.
The door opens to the pulling into the hallway.
Yeah, it opens.
You could if you slept on the outside of it in the hallway. Yeah.
Yeah, that's besides the point. That's not what I'm going for.
So the bedroom doors work opposite of normal bedroom doors.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the food, Alphonse.
Or totally normal if you're my father and don't understand how framing concepts work. The house I grew up in, doors were weird. What was that?
Thanks for the food, Alphonse.
It was absolutely anytime. Good company is great company.
What do you know about the trap that we went from that side?
The hallway of Misery's back there? Not much. Last time somebody made it into the lava chamber, he, didn't make it.
When was that?
Oh, that had to be, what, century? Two centuries ago?
But the dwarf just came through there.
Yes, he made it. He was rude. I was talking about people that might have been nice. I'm sorry. Clarity is important. Yes, he came through. He was rude. He asked to use the wind tunnel. I didn't, before I could ask him how he even knew I had that. He threw a sack of money on the table, and I was like, all right. I handed that to my brothers, and off he went. The only thing I noticed about him was the green eyes and the weird red eyeball painted on his clothes.
Oh, red eyeball, huh?
I pull the parchment out from the tapestry out from my pouch and say, this ball, eyeball.
this ball, eyeball. Yeah. And he goes, yes, exactly like that one. Where did you find that?
In secret room.
Ooh.
That's just cold, Fred. I'm sorry.
Hey, what about this ring? There's a ring that's still in Jit's pocket, and maybe maybe he should just try it out. Come on. Or sleep overnight and detect magic again. We need to figure out about this ring. Although we need not anywhere near, because if he fails, he had rolled a 2 or a 3 on that table, it would have melted all metal in close proximity. So if we were standing around him,
you're screwed. Yeah. Like you're toast. Yeah. That mishap table is rough. Like 10 grit sandpaper. That is
Maybe spend the night and then send Jit through the wind tunnel before us so that he can test the ring.
But he has to know where he's going. In order for you to get
as long as we all sort of agree on a place.
Well, we're going to try to go after the dwarf, right?
Yeah, weren't we going to try to see if...
Even better, if he ends up with the dwarf...
Hey, can we show this guy? Do we have any of these seeds, or did anybody keep some of the seeds? Somebody kept this, I think.
I think if it was anyone, it would have been, in fact, you.
I do kind of remember that on the very first day.
Can we show him these seeds and see if he knows anything about... Assuming these seeds would come from a country that Sir Dwarf was from.
The seeds that you got out of the pacification chamber, those seeds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Murder pit?
The murder hole, the rubber room, right? The snuff hole, right? So the Alphonse looks over them and goes, yes, I've seen those. Those grow in gardens, if you want to call them that, in the maw. But where on earth did you find them? Have you been?
No, we haven't been, but this was what the dwarf had given the town, the innkeeper, in order to pacify the citizens of Birchvale.
Oh, that's different. That's not what I thought they did. And again, I've never been much for plants.
What do you think they did?
My understanding was that they paralyzed the mind and then the body and then, unpleasantness. But like I said, death. Ugh. But like I said, not big on plants. Come to think of it, though, if he's from the maw and he wears that symbol, I might actually know who he is. I can't believe I hadn't thought of that. Huh.
Oh, right.
I feel like
how did you come? How did you come to vacation here? Was it like in a brochure?
Like, right.
Did the real estate agent show you around?
The Christmas flyer, right, where they sell all kinds of...
Do you have a vacation vellum?
He goes, as you might imagine from a name called the Ma, the desert where I grew up is not, how do we say, a pleasant place. It's not. It's unpleasant. But there are a fair amount of trades and merchants, and you can get anything in the Maw, including a better place to live if you know who to ask. And sure, it's underground and next to a tunnel full of death, but you'd be surprised. In comparison to the Maw, this is a wonderful place.
Well, let's go to the Maw.
Getting food here is easy. My brothers don't bother me, and I have as much time to read and eat some more as I could possibly want.
How do you access the ground, the main the overworld?
Oh, I don't. I mean, I suppose I do. I travel back to the Maw on occasion, get a horse and ride from there.
But where do you get your food that is so plentiful?
The brothers do that. They go to a nearby settlement and collect what food they can from there, but most of it comes from the Maw. No offense to any of you, but our food is simply the best. Our fruit is the most succulent. Our bread is the best. There's a reason people live there. It may be harsh as hell, but we have...
You said food was more plentiful here, but you're telling me you get your food from the Maw.
The food is more plentiful here, but it is not as good. And he pans around the room with his kind of flabby, overdone arms, and he goes, as one might expect, I don't settle.
Interesting. So, fellow travelers, shall we sleep the night and depart in the morning?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll have to set a guard in our bedroom.
Still paranoid, huh?
Take turns.
We all
Yeah,
sleep
for
in the same
definite.
room, right?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a defensive stance.
Right. With monk pole in claw, right?
I was just thinking,
Golf
like, sort of,
lock or something.
sort of crouched down back against the corner and
Oh,
just.
God. Crouching owl bear, hidden death.
Can we get the salamanders asleep in front of the door?
Wait, I guess I didn't understand. You brought the horsamanders. Did you bring them in this room with you?
I don't know. Can they fit?
They can, but Alphonse looks at you with a certain degree of curled lip when you bring them in. He doesn't say anything, but he is not pleased.
Well, I'll leave
Where
that
else
up
are they
to
supposed
those
to
who are
go?
riding salamanders, because I'm not on a salamander.
No, neither am I.
I will politely ask him if our pets can come with us.
Those pets.
I'll call them pets so they don't.
Right, and I'm the strange one for living underground. Yeah, they can stay.
I thank you.
Of course.
You are a generous
A
host.
small problem with your plan to visit the Maw. If you've never been, I'll have to go with you.
Oh,
Right, you need to have been where you're going in order to get there with the wind tunnel. I'm not opposed to going with you. I'll just need to change.
You're not wearing your Maw clothes?
He kind of looks down at the fancy, the fabrics he's wearing that are brightly colored and pressed and satin and goes, "You must be joking."
These are his good clothes.
That's the idea, right?
Okay.
Well, if we're spending the night,
I'd like to get the spellcaster back up and running.
That's probably a good idea.
Before I nod off into never let. I want to take a look through that spell book.
Awesome. I have my note card in my hand. I've been waiting for you to do that. So as you pour through the book, most of the pages, they haven't been damaged. They're just missing. They've been torn out. But you come up with a couple of spells.
All right.
One of them, so the format is you've got a little picture and then a little description underneath that.
Okay.
One of them looks like little red pinpricks thrown all over it, like a blood red miasma. The spell is Blood Mist. It allows you to sap the lifeblood from a creature and give it to another one.
So it's kind of like a healing.
Yeah, except it's real painful for the other guy. Yes, so it allows him
it does damage and heals another.
Right, you roll a d8. It's a level 1 spell. You yank a d8's worth plus your intelligence modifier out of somebody, party A, let's call them, and shove those hit points into party B, while causing a great deal of pain to party A.
Interesting.
I like.
Yeah, I thought you might. I'm glad to hear that.
What else? Anything else?
You find Wither, which is a self-targeted spell. The idea, and there's what the picture is a hand that looks like it's been shriveled up, the kind of thing that a mummy looks like when you take the bandages off. Wither allowed you to damage yourself for a stat point. You can shave off 1 intelligence, 1 strength, whatever. Very much like what Dungeon Crawl Classics let you do. And it lets you add a d6 worth of effort for the next week to whatever it is, whatever roll you decide. Add it to a spell, add it, whatever.
Jesus.
But you don't get that point back for a month.
Okay, so if I shed like a strength, I can get 1 die 6 on damage or...
Yes.
Okay. Wither. Okay, that's it?
No, you find 1 more in there. But it's beyond your ability to cast at this moment. It's a level 4 spell.
All right. What is Wither and Blood Mist? What level?
Blood Mist.
Blood Mist is a level 1 spell. Wither is a level 2 spell.
Okay. So I'm cutting my hand open and I'm smearing my blood all over the magic, and I'm going to be doing my ritual to try to absorb the magic into me.
Sure, sounds good. Did you want that last spell?
Well, yeah, I might as well take it.
Describe that again. I'm cutting myself and rubbing my blood all over. Sounds good.
Yeah, it was kind of creepy, but.
So what's the last spell?
Death.
Oh.
The level 4 spell. The idea is there's just a picture of a black skull with 2 red pinpricks in the middle of its eyes, 1 each, right? Death allows you to you have to make eye contact with a sentient creature. You make a save to make sure that it understands your intent. You have to essentially spook it. When you do that, it just drops to 0 life, which is not necessarily the same thing as dying. In D6 rounds.
All right.
Cool. But once it drops to 0 life, I can condemn it.
That's true. As a team, yeah, it's basically dead.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Okay. All right, I'm good.
For reference, there is if you want to keep the book, there's enough spaces in there where the pages have been torn out where you could probably kind of shove in 7 or 8 more. If you want to carry around a bloody, ucky spell book, and I feel like you do.
Well, I'm going to assume that the spells in the paper have been absorbed into me, and the blood has smeared it, so it's probably not good for anyone else to learn the magic, right?
Probably not, no. They'd have to be very impressive to get through your, how do we say, personal handiwork, and then get,
I'll take the book with me. You never know.
Okay, sure.
And
you guys
just
are
lick all the blood off my hand.
Oh, nasty.
I ate his spell with
who's gonna tell us a bedtime story?
Once upon a time, there was this creepy mage in an underground room.
You had to share a bed with him.
He had this thing for blood. Yeah. So are you guys staying the night? Is that the idea?
That's the idea.
Indeed.
Feel free to regenerate your hit points accordingly. For anyone who needs a refresher, that's 1 hit point per level. Because you're safe. It would just be 1 hit point if you weren't.
And as we're doing the safe rest, before we go to bed, I put my healing hands upon Jit.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. I imagine your character doesn't actually do that, huh?
No.
I'm gonna curl up in a corner with my horse Amander.
Okay. What are the Joseph? You didn't say anything for a few minutes aside from the occasional. What are you doing?
Just gonna go to sleep.
Okay.
Like
Hermes, where did
right out?
all that food, right? Hermes,
Yeah.
where did you decide to sleep?
Propped up against a corner.
Okay. Like facing the hallway, right? Positioning your butt in the corner.
Sort of facing out towards a door, ideally.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, sort of sat propped against a corner.
But you guys pass out with, ease, right? Because the food's heavy in the stomach and sleeping is easy.
Can I just say I took first watch doing the magic stuff?
Oh, that's right. You guys were going to keep watch. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Let's say
and
you.
then when I'm done, I'll wake up whoever's after me.
Okay.
I'll go next.
I can go next.
During your various watches, you see the brothers go back and forth a couple of times through the hallway into the larder and then back into the kitchen. Back into the serving area and then back into the larder. They do that for way too long, right? That guy must just keep eating. But eventually they go to bed and you see Alphonse kind of bumble in. You're amazed that he fits through that door, right? Must be very impressive, like Santa Claus in a chimney. And he goes to sleep too. The hallway goes quiet. Morning comes, right? And Alphonse is, Hermes, you wake up to Alphonse kind of, he's gingerly trying to pet you and he's not really sure if that's your bag, but he wants to, right?
Like,
he
loves this, but he's like, he doesn't, like, he's sort of,
He notices that you're awake and he kind of looks at you like, I won't do nothing, right? and Alphonse looks very different from the day before. Yesterday, he was wearing these bright, ridiculously colored clothes in pressed satin. Today, he's wearing this tight-fitting armored breastplate covered in these gems and gold filigree. It's almost like a mural and he's wearing it. And he's got a helmet on that covers most of his face and a sword that looks comically large on his back. And he's got these what looks like woven bronze leggings. They look like metal, but they move with him. And he goes, let's do it. I haven't been home for a while. Should be fun.
Okay.
Interesting.
Not going to eat breakfast?
My kind of guy. Although I will probably pass on breakfast. No, who am I kidding? If you can wait, I can wait.
No, let's go.
Let's go.
Guys, do you think maybe this dwarf went to the mall? The mall or whatever?
That's what we thought.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
Well, we don't have any other location, so let's go.
And
we haven't got a lead anywhere else.
Comes from the mall.
That's true. The seeds definitely come from the maw natively. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
That's our case.
He goes, if you're ready, if breakfast is a great idea. And he snaps his fingers and his two disheveled brothers come out and he goes, breakfast for the road. And they run back into the larder and they come back out with what looks like kind of lumpy sacks, right? They look, like a backpack, but a little bit smaller. And they hand each of you one. And he goes, you'll find various dried foods. You'll find once you get to the maw that things that have not been dried out don't hold very well. The environment and the air, But I promise, if that isn't the best jerky you've ever had, right? And he walks back into the serving area and goes, I'm ready when you are.
I have an off-topic question.
Sure.
Every time I drive in the United States, so you
say that again.
My non-American.
Oh my days. My phone's on silent now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, right?
That was twice in a row.
You guys live in somewhat rural New York.
I live in New Hampshire, but
New
yes.
Hampshire. What in the world is it? Like, I can drive through all of Canada and not find a roadside beef jerky outlet. I can't drive 50 miles in the United States without finding a roadside beef jerky outlet. Like,
seriously?
Like somebody
what
like
we're talking about.
This is a thing.
I don't think I've ever seen a roadside jerky outlet.
I've never really
There's
had
lots
beef
of them.
We
jerky.
drive from Western New York all the way to New Hampshire back. 7 hours.
I don't know what part of the country you drive in. I've never seen one of those. Out here, it's roadside lemonade stands, and hey, I got fresh corn that I'm selling out of my van.
In America, it's like porn and beef jerky. That's what you get along the highway. That's
on that 7-hour route, there is one like adult place. It's off the highway. There's a big sign for it.
So I didn't hear you didn't say corn. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Oh, okay. Oh.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, we don't have those here. Then again, I live in
than Ohio and Michigan.
I live in a very tiny little squat of a town. I like it that way. Oh man. So Alphonse is ready to hop in the wind tunnel whenever you are.
Let's go.
He goes, hold on to your underwear. This is usually kind of fun the first time. And he slams the door open, and there's an immediate as wind fills the room and zips around in circles. Hurry now, in. And you all get in, and he slams the door shut. And his eyes, your guys are floating. Like the air goes up through your clothes and floats you off of the ground. And he goes, one of you should hold on to me, and the rest of you should hold on to them.
Are we taking the horse commanders with us, or is that a bad idea?
I don't know. Did you want to bring them with you?
Well, I'm kind of fond of mine at this point.
Does he have a name? Does it have a name? Is it a boy? Did you check?
Do you know how to check?
Amphibians are kind of tricky that way.
I have not checked its gender. So I don't know what to call it.
Okay.
Fond of him.
You're just fond of him. Okay. Let's say you brought him with you then.
I can't help but imagine this thing just producing
Wait, what color
slime
are they
inside
again?
the wind tunnel.
Your horse commanders are overgrown pink, like they look like you ever hurt yourself really bad and then you get like brand new skin, that pink kind of pulpy color. They look like that.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to an axolotl with no eyes.
Well, I was going to name him after its color, but that would be Pinky.
It's better than pink eye, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll call him Pinky.
Conjunctivitis for short.
So Alphonse looks, he's excited to be doing this, the adventure and home and all that, but you're definitely penetrating his joy by having the horse commanders in the tunnel with him. He's very unhappy.
Not very fond of Pinky.
No, just animals in general. He's kind of looking at them, his lip curls a little bit. He's trying to prevent it, but he can't quite. Like his host demeanor cracks. And he goes, it is. Hold on. And you guys lift through the air immediately and fly through the air as if you were on some sort of roller coaster ride with no seat.
Oh, goodness.
You fly over, you move incredibly fast. But if you want to look down, you can. Are any of you afraid of heights?
No.
I don't think that's been covered in my backstory.
No.
I think it's just fire.
I think my character's going to get motion sickness.
Okay. You kind of feel your stomach turn and flip in your gut, right? You're pretty sure at one point you swallowed your tongues. You obviously didn't, right? Your eyeballs kind of recede into your skull and the skin falls back on your face. And Alphonse turns to you and goes, see? Fun. And you fly through the air. You fly over a couple of forests and a large mountain range and a various collection of little patchwork towns. You're up there like an airplane ride. And then you see this huge desert that you can't see the end of. And you and right before you hit the ground, all of the inertia just stops about a half inch above the earth, and you just land. And Alphonse goes, "Behold," and he puts his arms out and motions at this huge, never-ending pile of dunes and goes, "Home." The maw.
Did we
I'll
take
do-
extra water with us?
Did you what?
Take extra water with us when we took breakfast to go?
Alphonse did.
I don't know if you did, but there's some in the bags his brothers handed you.
Right.
Okay.
As we land on the desert, I throw up. Everything like that. Yeah.
I like to imagine
I
all of
managed to
Hermes just
swallow my throw up, but I'm clearly motion sick.
Ew. Oh. Alphonse visibly backs away from you just on when you throw up, and he kind of
Darian just it's like, I need to sit down for a minute. Hold on.
he kind of looks at you and looks at the ground and goes, "Ugh, unpleasant." Ugh.
Hermes just looks particularly puffy right now. Like all the air to his feathers.
It's like,
like a cartoon cat. Poof.
Yeah.
Yeah. My face has gone green and I'm trying to breathe slowly so I don't actually throw up.
And he goes, "Let's find your dwarf." Wait, oh, do you want me to go with you? I mean, you're here. I don't have to go with you beyond this point.
Well, if you could show us the way, it might be handy.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I haven't been home for a while. I imagine Dad's going to be displeased to see me, but this is important. And he goes, "From here, you see that dune?" And he points to a dune that looks the same as all of the other dunes. Right? You see that dune? That one. We'll go up and over that one, and then over a couple more, and then over a couple more, and next thing you know, we'll be at home.
Lead the way.
To be continued.
Do you want to stop now? I like that for a stopping point. I was actually considering stopping you in mid-wind tunnel, but that seemed a little bit unfair.
Can I just detect magic on that ring before we end?
Oh yeah, sure, go for
That's
it.
what we're gonna do.
Stand back, everybody.
Yeah, back up.
Yeah, take
Yeah.
I literally, after me lying on the ground, I'm like just trying to scuttle my way out, just like running.
And once again, I give him a +1 with my Providence cantrip.
Good call. You guys make a great team.
And I'm gonna cut my hand open,
Okay.
and I'm gonna bleed on the ring.
Okay. You and your blood. Seriously.
So how did we
I
work
throw up
that out?
again.
Your hand must be so scarred.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I know.
How did we
Alright.
work out what?
I could take damage to give myself a bonus, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is it, 1d6 or 1d4?
With the spell you just got, or you mean in general?
In general, if I want to get a bonus for my...
You can you can cut yourself open, and you don't roll for it. You can take up to your level in damage and add that number to whatever.
All right, I'll take 3 damage.
Okay.
So I got the +3, +2 for my intelligence, and +1 from the tinker there. So +6.
Okay.
Good gosh.
Did you roll a 1?
Well, I rolled an 8. +6, so 14.
That'll do it.
Yeah,
It's
you're
11,
good.
right?
Yeah, thank goodness I cut myself.
You know, when I first sat down and started going over systems that use static DCs, DC 11, DC 12, right? I was like, man, at higher levels, players are going to pass that all the time. That's not true at all. Like, it is amazing how often that is not true. Think about it. A 10 and 11 are the middle of a 20-sided die. You would think the players would just pass that all the time, and they don't. So you pass, right? The ring crackles.
Well, I got a 14, yes. So
Right. The ring crackles with energy and floats right out of the palm of your hand. And you're pretty sure that if you put that on, all of your magical effort until you take it off will be doubled.
Ooh.
You're also pretty sure that it will bond to your hand.
And am I pretty sure that this is a mage toy, or is this...
It's definitely an arcane toy. It won't have any utility for a divine student.
Okay. Then I guess I explain that to the tinker. I don't want him to get offended and think I'm stealing
Sounds
his ring.
good.
Jealous?
I really wish you'd stop doing that thing with the blood, but
Like it's creepy,
Well,
man.
that is how I channel my magic.
You're harsh and my mellow.
It's 420.
Would it make you
dude.
feel
Come on.
better if my blood was a different color?
Use legerdemain to change the color of your blood and then cut yourself open.
Nice glowing teal or something.
Little radioactive. Do you put the ring on?
Yes, why not?
Okay. Upon doing so, right, the ring speaks into your brain, not so much with words, but with images. You see mages who have worn it in the past, and things ranging from peasants to armies to angels coming to get it from them. And all of these mages have been killed. The ring shows you a picture of your own hand with on your other hand taking the ring off. You understand this as your one and only opportunity to take it back off.
Is this a cliffhanger moment? Do I decide next week?
We can decide next week. I love that idea.
Oh no.
Right, you're gonna kill them with the anticipation. I'm all for that.
Something.
yeah, right. And I mean that gives you all week to come up with a decision.
And we're all gonna get killed by battle angels next episode.
They're coming after you. They're coming after us.
What's that old phrase? One is judged by the quality of their friends. So I will see you guys next week.
All right.
Okay, see
Sounds
you next week.
All right.